Hello, everybody. We have Carter with us. He's like one of the best I know. He talk a lot about his journey and mindset blockage, lifestyle, and a lot of different things like that makes you away from your success. So that's why we have him today on Nail the Sale podcast. And I would love to ask Carter to tell us about who you are and what your background story is, so people can listen to you and get inspired.
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thanks for the invite and thanks for having me here. But yeah, so my name is Carter, um, and I help entrepreneurs and sales pros with their energetic state, to put it short. And what does that mean exactly? Well, really, the work that I do is based around like what is it that's holding you back? And really, if anyone asks us that question, it's pretty clear that it's always some sort of emotional baggage. It's always the fear, it's always the worry, the doubt, the anxiety, the overthinking, that uncertainty towards things. So that's really what my work is based around. It's clearing those things and allowing you to take action freely toward going towards your goal. And the funny thing is as well, when we remove those obstacles, when we remove those barriers, the goal actually becomes less relevant in itself too, which is an interesting thing that I've found.
Hmm.
Where, when you remove the fear, the doubt and things, you actually become a lot more at peace with where you're at as well. So
Yeah,
this is the message that we hear where it's about the journey, the present moment.
yeah.
It's like removing the fear, the doubt, the things that are holding you back. Yes, you get to your goal faster because you can take action quicker and stop
Mm.
overthinking things as much. But also you become present as well because you find a peace with right now. So really interesting work.
Yeah, Carter, I'm sure that's the stuff we are talking about is amazing, but I'm sure you were not the person you are today since forever, right? So what made you think like that and talk about these stuff so oftenly?
Yeah, so I can't pinpoint exactly where it started, but I've always been interested in psychology, really the behind the scenes work of what goes into the mind and specifically getting what you want. So, over the past few years here, starting in September 2021, I was actually living in Spain. I actually moved to Spain and I lived there for 2 years. And during my time in Spain, I knew that I wanted to get into a different area of work, and proceed to make money online. So I got interested in that. And that's really where I got deeper with the energetic work, the mindset work, taking a real look at myself because I got back from Spain in June 2023. I decided full bore every day, gonna work on this digital marketing agency. So I started my SMMA there.
Yeah,
Really basic structure, booking in appointments for home
yeah,
service companies.
yeah.
So I started on that, doing that every day. And through getting started and working online there, I learned a lot about myself and fears. Like the biggest fear of mine was actually cold calling, so confronting that fear.
Yeah,
So it was a big one. I'm sure
yeah.
you can
It's
relate
just
to that
like
one.
you're running 5 miles in the 5 a.m. in the morning in the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So confronting that one every day, that uprooted some things within me. That brought me a lot of freedom as well. But since that time, June 2023, I committed to that digital marketing agency, working on that every day. Um, and now I've shifted into the one-to-one coaching work where I work with entrepreneurs and salespeople on on their energetic state and looking at their emotional baggage and the things that are holding them back towards their goals. So,
Amazing, amazing, Cotter. I what I understand as of my journey, like 13 years in sales, I can tell sales, entrepreneurship, marketing, it's a lot of like energy exchange and doing your maths and staying, and it's a mindset game actually. When you're in sales, rejection is like a normal and a common thing, right? You just said like cold calling was like a very tough thing for you, right? It was once for me as well, right? Until unless I realized that I have to pick up the phone and I have to just turn off all the distractions that are killing me inside, even in my head here, right? I have to turn that off. Again, it's mindset and inner energy, right? And I have to pick up the phone and keep dialing, keep dialing, keep dialing. In like 1 hour, I dialed like 80, 85 numbers, right? And that day, I realized that it's more like your mindset and your energy that stops you to make more calls, to speak with the right kind of people, and how what your openers are and how you are talking to them and what energy they want from you that you're here for. Because your agency services, your coaching program, they're going to buy later on, right? First thing they're going to buy is your energy, your mindset, right? That's where
hmm
they're going to get sold, right?
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, how would you like, if you talk about like sales reps and entrepreneurs, um, how would you work with them, and what would you advise to them to remove their energy blockages?
Yeah. So there's a reframing process that goes with it. So if you look at something like cold calling, right? If someone has a fear of cold calling, how is that fear actually serving you? And that's something that I question, and that's a question that people don't usually think of, right? How is this cold calling actually serving me?
Hmm.
Well, it's definitely building a lot more persistence within you.
Yeah,
Um, you're facing your biggest fear, if that's your
yeah,
biggest fear.
that's your biggest fear.
Yeah.
Your
So there's a difference.
procrastination.
Yeah, procrastination. And the funny thing about that is in facing your biggest fear, all of the other little fears become almost irrelevant, right?
Yeah,
Because if you can slay the biggest dragon in a way, it's like all the other little ones aren't really intimidating anymore.
true.
So, so when you're practicing your biggest fear there, you're practicing persistence, patience, you're facing a fear, and you're kind of hitting other dominoes as well, other fears in facing this one big fear of cold calling. So that was my experience as well, where reframing it in that way um created a lot of clarity for myself. And really the first thing to overcoming an emotional obstacle is creating clarity around it and really understanding what it is and why it's serving you.
Hmm. And you and me, that's really good answer. You and me, we were talking about the other day about one of your content, how much you can let go, right? About that. I mean, okay, can you tell people a little bit about letting go? When they're in sales and they're in entrepreneurship, even in the real life, every other day you have fight with your maybe partner or
Yeah.
things going on in the area or stuff like that. And can you talk about a little bit about letting go?
Yeah, for sure. For
Because
sure.
we had this conversation, I want everybody to listen what you have like a perspective about it.
Yeah. So letting go is actually a specific technique and this is something that can be really valuable to people who actually apply it. So for anyone listening here, letting go is actually a technique developed by an author named David R. Hawkins.
Mhm.
So the idea around it is letting go of that emotional baggage, letting go of those harassing thoughts, right? And the technique is, let's say you have a let's say you have a fear of something or a negative thought that keeps coming back. Well, the automatic reaction that we usually do is we want to escape that thought. We want to escape that negative feeling. We don't want to feel that, right? It's like you fear this thing and it comes to your mind. Life keeps poking at you,
Yeah.
right? Life just
Yeah.
keeps
Yeah.
poking at it, and it keeps coming back to you
Mm.
until you face it. So this technique is actually letting those thoughts be there. So when that fearful thought, that negative thought comes in, just let it be there, hands off. Don't try to run away from it. Don't try to escape it. And actually just let it sit there and let it run its course on you in a way. Just really like feel into that feeling
Mm.
and let it be there.
Okay.
And the interesting thing in doing that is you realize you're safe. And over time, you get better at practicing it as well.
And how do you
Because
realize
those
like you're
yeah.
safe?
Yeah, because a negative feeling, a negative thought is usually a survival mechanism, right?
Hmm.
That's like that's um that's the most basic part of being a human, right? Those survival mechanisms that we have of fear. Okay, you got to be careful. There's going to be this lion around the corner, maybe we can't die, right? This is very a very ancient protection mechanism that we have.
Yeah.
But these fears still come up, like something around cold calling. But it's based on survival. It's a fear on survival where we think we're not safe, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So when you actually sit with these negative feelings, these negative thoughts, you understand that you can just let them be there, and the thoughts begin to lose their grip on you because they stop poking at you like they used to. Because
They start
you
serving
don't
you
get
actually in your
yeah.
favor.
And
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. And you don't give into the game, right? The game is that thing is poking at you, you're emotionally reacting to it, you're running away from it, you're escaping it, you're giving it more of your power. When you don't give it attention, when you don't give it power, when you just let it be there and just let it exist, it's a very profound thing to practice and explore.
That's amazing. That's amazing. For I mean, yeah, that could be an amazing thing if you learn how to and how much you have to let it go, and you just adopt it, and it works in your favor. So that's really amazing. I was watching one of your video where you were talking about doing the maths for your success, right?
Oh yeah.
I know that was gold. So tell us a little bit more, like how like these entrepreneurs, like coaches, consultants, sales reps, right? We have like a very unpredictable kind of most of like 90% of the online entrepreneurs and sales reps, they have 90% of them like have an unpredictable math for the success, right? And I know this, a lot of things are attached with your energy, your mindset. How do you see that, and how do you calculate that maths for like a you said make your success a simple math, right? How do you do that?
Yeah. Yeah, so this is great. I love this topic. And this is a video I just made on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But this comes from a concept of a book called The Science of Getting Rich. And it's a very practical way
Yeah.
of looking at success where you're adding in the good, you're subtracting the bad, and in doing that, you create this snowball, this exponential effect towards your goal. But really, the first step in doing that is getting clear on what it is that you want, right? You got to take time, 1 hour, 2 hours, sit down and get very clear on what the vision looks like, what it is that you want. Then you can turn it into a math because when you start taking action towards that goal, you get clear on what are the things that are serving you, what are the things that are not serving you.
Okay.
So the things that are serving you, the good people, the good
Okay.
conversations, the good habits,
Mm.
you learn more about those as you take action. You add in more of those.
Mm.
The bad people, the people that aren't making the kind of money you want to make, the
Mm.
people that aren't serving you emotionally, the people that
Mm.
aren't in alignment with your goal, the
Mm.
habits, the environmental factors that aren't in alignment with your goal, you subtract those.
Mm.
And then I'm sure you've experienced this too, where the results come exponentially,
Yeah.
where you go, and then all of a sudden you see a big return in results.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so that's the whole idea of making it a simple math. It's like add in those things that are serving you, subtract the things that aren't serving you, and in iterating, taking action, learning more about your goal, you're going to understand that concept even better. And the things that are serving you, the things that are not serving you, you surround yourself with even better people. You create
Mm.
even better habits based on your developed understanding through taking action.
Mm.
So it's a really compounding thing um, that snowballs in a certain direction. But you first have to get clear on what that direction is, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's amazing. I mean, I really loved it because this calculation is more realistic than any woo-woo stuff, you know? It's like scientific proper. You can literally pick a pen and a paper. You all you need is just like this pen. You need a paper. You just
Hmm.
put your sticky notes on in your hand, and you can just sit down and write. Okay, what are those peoples? They are draining my energy every day. I'm distracted. I don't need those people in my life. It could be hard, but I need to subtract them. It could be
Hmm.
hard, but I need to do this and that. And these are my tick marks that I have to do. And these are my tick marks I don't have to do. I have to cross them up. Right.
Yep.
So that way we can actually set a right goal that we can work on it. Right. It's like, it's a simple maths to setting goal, maybe. Right. And when you have like a proper goal and you implement it consistently, that's where the success is.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was amazing. I love it. uh
Yeah, thanks, man.
yeah, what
And
was
yeah,
what's go ahead, please.
I just want to say one other thing on that too. With creating the goal too, this is something that I fell into as well, sort of a trap that I think people fall into, is looking at your goal as this static, like solid, unchanging thing. But the healthier way to look at a goal is as this evolving thing, where it's always changing. So when you sit down and map that out, it's like take some time to sit down once a month and go in and make some changes to your goal as you evolve with it, right? So your goal is going to change as you change with it. So
Hmm.
maybe the goal that you set a month ago or 6 months ago, maybe
Hmm.
now it's a little different. You just need to go in and make some edits to it. And yeah, like this makes a little more sense for me right now. Or I don't like how I worded that thing. This seems more in alignment with me right now. So not handcuffing yourself to a goal, like letting it change is the
that's
healthier way.
that's amazing, practical. That's so practical. And to the audience who are watching right now, I really want to tell you, like, Cotter is my go-to person whenever I have any problem with like mindset, the energy, and blockage. Because to be very honest with you, handling objection, having your word track is one thing that you should learn. Of course, you should have it. But the real sales thing is working on how you can calculate your success rate, right? How you can remove your energy blockages, right? And if like we haven't covered like a couple of things that Cotter talks about, like the silence is required, that's powerful, and how much can you let go? We just talk about it. Your thoughts is equal to the bully school. There are a lot of things that you can talk about when you talk about Cotter. So he got a coaching program as well. You guys can reach out to
Mhm.
him. Even if not, God Cotter is super helpful all the time. So I would say please contact him, DM him on the Facebook. He's pretty active there, or his team can reach out to you as well. And hey, Cotter, thank you so much for hopping on today. And I cannot be more blessed than that, that you came in and you provided so much value that changed a lot of people's perspective. And I'm sure it changed
Yeah.
mine. I don't know about others.
Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I write on Facebook. I have a YouTube channel which I post on, like you mentioned. And yeah, if anyone has any questions, they can DM me on Facebook. They can actually DM me the word design for more one-to-one coaching
Absolutely.
info. So,
Design,
but man,
guys, the word design, you're coming from